Hello Internet! Today I'm looking at another LED lighting upgrade in my shop. At least I hope it's an upgrade. So the other day I was watching one of my friend Matt Cremona's videos, and in there he was showing some really skinny LED lights that he was putting in his shop. So this reminded me that I've got this dying T12 fluorescent fixture in my shop. I mean, at least the bulbs are dying. I think the fixture still works. So yeah, I think the fixture works, but I told myself that I'm not going to buy any more fluorescent bulbs. I want to replace with LED as things die. So in one of my last videos, I bought these replacement LED tubes that fit right into a T8 fixture. And I went to the store and I looked at those. I wasn't really liking the price or the selection that I was seeing. And so I also looked at just buying fixtures, but they're like 80 bucks for an LED shop fixture. And I just wasn't feeling like there was a whole lot of selection, and I was kind of wanted these skinny things that I've seen Matt and a few others using, and so I asked Matt where he got them, and he sent me a link to Amazon.com, and I'm in Canada, and I looked on Amazon.ca, and they didn't have the brand that he had, but they had these others, which are, I mean, they probably came out of the same factory. I liked the design that I was seeing online, and I really liked the price. I bought a set of 6 for 100 bucks Canadian. That's, January 2020 pricing, and that's Canadian, so, that's like 70 bucks American if it was a straight exchange. So that's like, 16 bucks a light, which is pretty good. And now I'm getting into the details of the light, so let's take a closer look. So these are 4-foot long tubes. They're about 1.25 inches wide. And one interesting feature is that there are 2 strips inside, and they're set at an angle, so it's shooting light off at an angle. As I mentioned, there were 6 in this kit. They come with a cord with a switch, so I can just plug them into the wall. They come with some wires, so you could wire it up to house current, mounting clips, and these little gizmos are so you can join the tubes end to end, or they have some connector cords if you want to have them a little farther apart. So it seemed like a pretty good kit, assuming the quality of the light is okay. And yeah, I'll put links to my kit and to Matt's kit down in the description below in case you want to look into any of this. Mine were 6,000 Kelvin and 28 watts. I forget how many lumens. I'll put all that down below, or I'll write it on the screen. But Matt, when we were chatting in email, Matt asked me a really good question. He's like, well, are you going to do some measurements? And at first I wasn't going to, because I'm not really planning to take any lights down. I'm planning to add lights. So I wasn't really planning on, doing a comparison to this, but I did hold this up against one of my homemade LEDs that I got, and it seemed a little brighter, but again, all these strips have different ratings. The strips that I used in my DIY kits had a certain rating, and so you can get brighter ones, less bright ones, and then they take more power or less power, but I'm rambling. Let's get on with it. I did get a Lux Meter on my phone. I just found one on the App Store that I downloaded it, and I tested at bench. I held the phone at bench level on my table saw at my bench, at one of my workstations, at the drill press, at the table there, and I wrote down some numbers, and I'll tell you about them at the end after I've made some changes. Actually, before I get going, down at this end of the shop is where I was planning to add some lights. The drill press, the bench back here is kind of dark. I've got a bunch of lights on the ceiling, but again, this is where that one fluorescent is dying. And I think I'm going to end up shifting and moving things around because I got 6 of these things. So I got lots. So yeah, right now I've got one homemade fixture here, 2 homemade fixtures, the old T12. I have another T12, which is still working just a little bit ahead. And then all along the side here, I got 2 of my homemade, some of the first ones, and on this side, also, some of the long strips. My ceiling is a bit of a mess. There are so many different things up there. But unless I get some sort of a lot of money or a sponsorship, it's not like I'm going to rip it all out and start over. You keep adding on incrementally because you got to work within your budget. So this is the manual that came with the lights, and you know, I mean, it's just a basic thing, just shows you how to hook it up, and there's nothing very fancy there. But then I took a look at this front. Here's the front of it. You know, LED light fixture user manual, and then it says place your text here, and then yeah, anybody who's done any sort of desktop publishing is like, this is called the lorem ipsum. It's placeholder text. So yeah, somebody was a little bit not proofreading their work. Okay, it's the next day, and I'm sending these back. And why? Because it looks great bright down here. In fact, I've only got one on, and it's really bright. Put on two, and it is super bright. And there's two reasons why I'm doing this. The first reason is that these connector cords are only about 12 inches long. So these are little cords so you can connect one set to another set so that you only have to run one power cord. And it's a set of 6 bulbs, and it came with 2 power cords. So I was figuring I would do like a set of 4 and a set of 2. And here, down in my basement, you know, it makes sense to run them along the joists, especially at this end of the shop. And joists are, you know, 16 inches on center. These are 12 inches, which means there's no way to have this plug into that. It's like, could you have just, you know, a little bit like a 20-inch cable? And yeah, it's an annoying little thing. You know, I suppose you could try to work around it, except for reason number 2. And reason number 2 really relates to my shop. I'm in the basement, and my ceiling, my joists are like 7 foot 7 inches. It's a low-ish ceiling. And what that means in my case is that the lights in my shop are frequently in my shot that I'm taking for YouTube. I'm filming down here. And the lights that I bought, I wasn't really thinking about it when I ordered it from Amazon, but these have a clear cover. It's not a frosted cover. So all these little LEDs are just hot spots. It's really bright. Those 2 reasons may seem picky, but you know, I have to live with this. And you know, thankfully Amazon has a very generous return policy, so these are going back, and I'm getting some frosted units instead. And in fact, the frosted units that I'm getting are lower wattage, so they won't be as bright, which I'm hoping will give me a much more even light anyways, because I was actually finding 2 rows there kind of overpowering. So I'm gonna pause while I take this all down and wait for my next delivery, and then, you know, we'll continue. Okay, after a short interruption, here's my new set. These are frosted, but otherwise they're pretty similar. They have the same sort of end-to-end connectors and mounting clips, but the big difference is that these have 20-inch connector cables, which should bridge the joists, and they also came with a whole lot more power cords. In fact, you could have 1 power cord for each tube if you want to. I guess they figured you better give lots so people don't complain. These are actually a neat design. They're thin little tubes. They have this thin aluminum base, and there's a clip that you can screw to the ceiling that the base snaps into. Each end has a little 3-prong plug, and you can just plug the cord into either end. And then if you're connecting multiple tubes in a line, you can just use these little connectors, which will join end to end. Or if there's a gap between them, you use these cords where you plug one in here and one in there. Okay, up and then go. And then on the other end of the tube, you're supposed to use these little plugs to cover up the holes for safety. Quite a simple little thing, pretty neat. Lots of light and no hot spots. Still pretty bright. I think I mentioned these are lower wattage. They are lower lumen output than the ones that I returned, but I wanted the gentler frosted look. So I don't care much about numbers and stuff. It feels brighter, it is brighter, it makes me happy, but every time I put up a video where I talk about LED lighting, people are like, you should have a light meter. And so yeah, I have an Android phone. I downloaded the free app called Lux Light Meter, and I took readings at my table saw, at my bench, back here where I've got my sanders, and over here on the drill press. And each time I just put the phone down and I moved it and I moved it. So it was about, 15 seconds, and then I would reset it when I would move it to the next spot. And that's where these numbers come from. So let me show you these numbers. So this first column is the before I did anything. The middle column is when I had the first set of lights where they had the clear lighting and they were higher wattage. The third column is what I just did here tonight with the new lights that are frosted and slightly lower wattage. So the table saw had pretty good numbers. I was reading 730 on average. I'm now reading about 800. I didn't really need much change there. It's fine. Over here on my bench, I was reading 430. Under the next set of lights, it was 520 or 580, depending if I had one or two strings of them on. And now I'm getting about 560, so a little bit less than the maximum before, but still pretty good. Over by the drill press, that was always a bit of a dim corner. I was getting a number of 220, and with the new lights, I had 330 or 730, depending on if I had 2 of them or 4 of them turned on. And now with the frosted set, I'm getting an average of about 490. And finally, along the back wall, the sanders, that was also fairly dim, 150. I doubled that with the new lights to 330, or up to 900 it even peaked at when I had all 4 of the new lights on. Again, this is the column that I returned. With the lights tonight, I'm getting a number of 690. Yeah, this is not a highly scientific thing, but people always want to know. So you can try to quantify a little bit of how much it's changed. So clearly I'm not ready to do a review. I've only just got them installed. At the time of filming, it's been a day or two. I haven't really done any major project in here. They look good, but let me just sort of address a few things. Like when I was looking these up on Amazon, I saw 2 really common complaints. One was that they're really fragile, and the other was about RF interference because the electronics inside it are maybe not the best quality. The fragility, yeah, okay, that's an issue. They are nowhere near as rugged as like a fluorescent fixture that you'd buy. On the other hand, I put fluorescent tubes into fluorescent fixtures, and they're delicate things made of glass, and these things are, you treat them delicately and you install them, and then you never touch them again. They just stay on the ceiling. So yeah, they are cheap. I mean, obviously they're put together at a low price point. As for the RF interference,
helps companies prepare for disasters, and
that's my FM radio.
Have used her services.
Yeah, there were a couple of people who complained in the Amazon comments about that they didn't think they were good in their garage because they interfered with the garage door opener. I haven't tried them in the garage. That's just something you might want to keep an eye on. Let me see, what else have I got here? Hard wiring. Just a second. Okay, I've got these plugged into an outlet. This is, they give you a little short cable for hard wiring. You'd need to put a box there. They're I don't know what gauge they are. They're not as thick as a 14-2 wire that you would stick in the wall or that you would normally use for wiring up to a light. If you use outlets, I'm going to use outlets because that way I can take them with me if I ever move. But they do have a hard wiring option. Some people, again, in reviews, were not really impressed. The previous set had an even flimsier wire. This one is actually fairly robust. In here you'd have to I think I'd be inclined to solder these before I put them onto a Moret, because it's a fairly thin piece of copper that you've got in here. Let me see if I can get a close-up on it. It's a fairly thin piece of copper. Another thing to keep in mind is when you get a set like this, it's 6 fixtures. Just plug them all in on the bench. That's the first thing I did, because again, somebody else had talked about, oh, I installed 5 and then the last one was dead, and then I had to, you know, take them all down to ship them back. You know, it's a set of 6. You gotta just plug them all in on the bench before you get going with them. And finally, yeah, the price. This is again January 2020 in Canada, and that was $60 on Amazon. So that was $10 per fixture. Each one comes with the cord, so if you want, I could scatter these 6 all over the house. That's it's hard to beat that price, you know, six of these lights. Because yeah, if it was a straight exchange rate, that'd be about $7 each. 7 times 6, $42 American is roughly what that works out to. That's pretty good, and I think that's about all I was gonna say on the whole review side of things. I mean, they're lights. I mean, you turn them off and on. You're not handling them, so I don't know that this is really going to change much several months down the line, unless they start, you know, fading out. Because, for instance, if we look above my head here, you can see this is one of the very first DIY bits that I made, and I was using, you know, just some cheap strips, and there's a bunch of dead LEDs in it. This is, you know, a few years later, but they died pretty quickly, so yeah, if these lights start losing LEDs, yeah, I won't be happy either, but we'll see. Sometimes you take the risk to get the good price. And hey guys, I think that about wraps it up. I've got a great improvement in lighting here in my shop, and I've still got 2 more of these tubes that I can do something with, whether it's elsewhere in the shop or elsewhere in the basement. You know, there's still a whole mishmash of stuff on the ceiling here, but everything's working right now. You know, the last time I did an LED video, I thought I was done with videos, but I guess you should just never say never, because the market changes, the world changes, my needs change. So thanks for coming by. I hope you found something interesting and enjoyable. If you feel I've earned it, please consider subscribing, or you can support me on Patreon if you really like what I'm doing, and we'll see you on the next one.